Welcome to Book Lore Podcast, the podcast where we explore the literary universe one episode at a time. We're your hosts, Sarah and Rob. Thanks for joining us. Remember to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Book Lore Podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. So glad you could join us. We have a really, actually, I think this is a really fun episode because it is the first that we are doing our book club book.
Our book club
What's the
book.
What's the book club called again?
Book Lore Reader Society over on the Fable app.
It sounds so fancy.
I know. I think we're pretty cool.
I think it should have a stamp, right?
I know.
Like,
yeah. I
the
agree.
Book Lore Reader Society.
Or like a wax seal, you know, when you like.
And then we all meet in a
envelopes.
pub in Oxford and discuss books.
I would love that. Oxford.
Right?
You had me at Oxford.
I know.
really
everybody is in now because I said Oxford.
Amazing.
I know. So how are you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I'm excited to talk about this book.
Are you?
Yeah, I have thoughts, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts because when we read these books, we don't discuss until we're here on the podcast.
We try our hardest not to.
We really do. Yeah.
I sometimes let my disgust out in certain things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You can't really hide your
No,
emotions
I'm not.
well.
I'm not really great at that. So, but this one we did hide pretty well, so we don't really know.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
And like full disclosure, Shannon, our producer, my wife,
Yep.
she read the whole thing way before us.
She did, yeah.
Like she just got in and then took me and you
queen.
forever to read it.
It
So
took me a
she's
long
been
time
sitting
to
here
read, yeah.
waiting for us to finish this book, and
I know. Can't
and
wait to
now we did,
discuss.
and we
And
get
here
to
we
discuss.
are.
So the book that we chose for the book club
Yep,
is
The Third Wife of Faraday House. So why don't you give our lovely listeners
yeah.
a quick little synopsis of this one?
Poor listeners. Okay. Yes. So we have our main character. Her name's Emmeline.
Yep.
And she's a young, lovely lady.
Yep.
She's I said that weird.
Lovely lady.
She's this beautiful young lady who she was orphaned at a very young age. Lost her mom was the last parent. Anyways, she has these guardians who raise her up, and then they want to marry her off. I don't know, like, is it a business or something? I don't really know, but maybe
It's like the timing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not modern times.
No, yeah. So it is set way back.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's in love with this guy Frederick.
Yeah.
Right, and he's like a ginger lieutenant.
Military. Yeah.
And no, he's like a Navy, I think.
Navy. Yeah.
He likes
yeah.
the
He's
boats.
in the Navy. Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
You're
she's
right.
in love with him, and they want to marry her off, and then she's caught with him.
Yeah, and that's scandalous back then.
Ooh,
'cause
everything is scandalous.
There's no chaperone. You're alone with a man. It's dicey for her.
So then they're like, well, now we can't marry you off, but we do have this one dude that we don't really know, and he lives on some island. We'll ship you off to him. She's like, it's that or the nunnery, so I guess
Yeah.
I'll go to this guy.
Yeah.
And then Frederick's going to come and save me. Like she's had this delusion
Yeah.
that he was going to come on a boat.
Truly in the land of Delulu.
Yeah. Okay. So she goes to this place, and here's the thing.
Yep.
She gets there, and the man that she's supposed to marry,
Yes.
his wife is still alive.
Still alive.
She's like
Yep.
sick,
Albeit on her deathbed.
On her
she's still
deathbed.
very much alive.
but she's still alive.
She's like, how am I supposed to marry a man who's already married?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So
And he's been married before.
Yeah.
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 And there's a myth.
Oh, and this is why it's called the third wife.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's this legend that kind of goes all the wives die young.
Yep.
All the wives
Yeah.
of Faraday.
There's like a curse.
die young. So she kind of has to unravel the mystery of Faraday House, and like it's kind of a big whodunit mixed with gothic ghost and romance.
Yeah.
And it was, there it is. That's the
Yeah,
synopsis.
that's the vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't tell you the end in case you haven't read it, but
Yeah.
we probably will by the end of this. So
Spoiler alert.
just listen. Hey, anytime we talk about a book, we're going to
gonna
talk about
discuss
the
it
end.
at length in full. Yeah.
Okay? So, like, if you're
You've
like-
been warned.
Yeah, spoiler alert for every episode.
Yeah,
okay?
major.
And probably triggers too. But here's a funny thing I got to talk about this now.
Yeah.
Here's a funny thing about triggers.
Yeah.
Trigger warnings don't really work.
What do you mean?
Most people, when they hear trigger warning,
Yeah.
makes them listen more to find out what the trigger.
Oh, it makes them like lean in more.
Yeah. And so you could say trigger warning, and then people don't go away or like plug their ears or whatever.
Right.
And then they
'Cause-
listen.
Well, they want to hear what the trigger warnings
yeah,
are.
yeah. So they're not as effective as we think that they are.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know why I went on that
Okay.
tangent, but
That's all right.
I can't think of
Great
any.
synopsis. Great synopsis.
Unless you're like really scared of ghosts, I can't think of any major triggers.
Yeah, there's no
in this.
major. I don't think so from what I
Okay.
recall. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What did you
Should we
think?
get
What
into it?
did you? Yeah, let's just get into it.
Okay, so
let's
I was
get into it.
super pumped that we picked this for our book club pick.
Yeah, I
Super
was too.
pumped.
And okay, full disclosure.
Yeah.
75% was because I loved the cover of the book.
I know.
It
This
was
is a
so
good
pretty.
cover. It's a
Such a
really
cool cover.
Yeah,
It
know,
gives
like
those
that saying,
gothic
don't
vibes.
judge a book by its cover. We do that. We definitely were like, oh, let's get this one. It looks so cool.
Well, there's
And
a
then we
reason
read
they
what it
make
was.
covers of books.
I know. It is a good cover. And also, we read this in September. So it's like very fall vibes.
Yes.
This book, it was giving what needed to be gave, you know?
Yeah,
It was good.
yeah,
Okay,
agreed.
so my thoughts on this book. Are we ready?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, the beginning I thought was a little slow.
Okay.
It's a little slow, the
Yeah.
first few chapters. I like a fast plot.
Mhm. Get me into the action.
And so it felt like a little bit of an uphill climb
'Kay.
until about maybe chapter 8 or 9.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, yeah, I'm into this. Like,
Yeah.
I need to know,
Yeah.
like, what the heck is going on in this house?
Yeah, this
like,
place is crazy
who,
pants.
like, what's going on with this wife that's still alive? What's gonna happen to her? Where the heck is Frederick?
Yeah, Fred.
kinda went-
Well, I mean, did you ever think he was
MIA.
coming?
No, I always thought he was a loser.
Yeah, and like, I mean, she didn't get a note to him or anything for like a trillion years.
I know, but he was just like telling her all the things that she wanted to hear.
No, but
at the
she
beginning,
like
and I
had
was
a big reach that he was
"Baby
going to come to
girl,
this island in the middle of
no."
nowhere
Yeah.
and save her.
I
Like,
know. He does not care about her one iota. But
yeah.
anyways,
Did he even know where she was?
I think that she got a letter to him.
Eventually,
yeah.
Because at first, no, it kept
Well,
getting.
the thing was
hijacked.
like when they got caught in their scandal, like
Yeah.
he knew she was being taken away. He didn't do anything about it.
No.
Because he sucks.
Well, yeah.
The worst. Anyways, so it was a little bit slow for me to get into. Then I was super into it, and I wanted to know like quick, like what's going on, who's doing this, who's gonna poison, who's trying to poison this person, who's like all of those kinds of things. Like, is
Yeah.
this curse real or is it made up? And
Yeah.
like, how did this curse even happen? And
Yeah.
all the questions that we
Even
thought
like,
about.
is it actually poison? Like, is she being poisoned?
Yeah,
like,
or
you're
is
thinking
she
yes,
just
she
ill?
is, or is she just ill?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no.
So it was good. What I did appreciate were the chapters were short. I love a short chapter.
Yeah.
That makes me feel accomplished. It makes me feel like, oh,
they
yes.
progressively got shorter too.
I know. You know what? I love that. I love a short chapter.
Oh, me too. And I
Yeah.
think that things ought to trend that way.
Yeah.
It's kind of this weird thing in writing where people would insist there's a difference between a chapter and a scene. And then it's like, because of that intense desire to make the difference, you had to have multiple scenes in a chapter. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Why not just make a chapter a scene? Because then
Yeah.
it can be like super short and then you feel like
Yeah.
you've accomplished. Also, if you want to like just quickly read another chapter, you can.
You can. I
without
know. Like,
devoting
oh,
the next
one more chapter.
hour
Oh,
to-
one more chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, one more. I was doing that when I was reading this book.
Oh,
actually.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Initially.
Yeah. I think you're going to go where I went.
Initially. And then it fizzled for me.
It didn't
So it
just
was-
fizzle.
Did it flop?
It.
Okay, tell me your thoughts.
I was shocked by the ending.
In what way?
This is
like,
one of
I
the
didn't see
worst
that coming?
endings I've ever
Okay.
read.
Did you see everything coming?
Of course, I saw everything
Yeah.
coming, and then 3 chapters of like memories. This was like a
After.
giant montage at the end.
Yeah.
And like in film, montage is like
Quick.
sure,
Quick.
but you don't use it.
As an end.
Don't overuse a montage.
Yeah.
Ever, right?
Yeah.
The end of this was just one big everything wrapped up in a beautiful little bow. And oh my goodness, and they all lived happily ever after. What happens is in those 3 chapters in the end, it's all just and then. And when you
Yeah.
read, you want to read because of this,
Yeah.
therefore this.
Yeah.
Not and then. And then
Yeah.
they got married. And
Yeah.
then they all lived in
And
the
then
house
they were
together.
happy.
And then
And
they
then
went
they-
and saved the child that everybody didn't really know.
Oh, yeah.
And then they all had Christmas together. And then like
Not Christmas. It's true. Yeah. I forgot about that.
it was just the most nauseating ending.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was.
The author
I was
doing.
flabbergasted.
The author was doing so well up until the last 5 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Once
Yeah, it
things
was-
were like revealed.
Yeah, the reveal was too simple for me.
And it felt like it happened so quickly
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah,
Like
there was no build up.
it's like there was a mediocre buildup. It's like
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're
you're
waiting
right.
for it to happen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for everything to be revealed, and it does, and then you're just kind of like, oh,
And it was always the people you're pretty certain it was,
yeah.
which can be fine if
No,
there
I
was.
need an element of
Yeah, but if
shock.
if there was some other shock, like if there was some other twist in it, but there
Yeah.
isn't any other twist in it.
Yeah.
And then the way that Captain Graves dies is like
Yeah.
he just had a heart attack in the night or something like that. It was weird. Remember Captain?
Yeah, Captain.
She like
Yeah.
because she did her little trick on him, but then he
Right.
died at night. That night, right?
But
And
didn't she kill him?
no.
Why did
No.
I think she killed him?
Well, I think that you thought she killed him because she was putting that stuff in.
Oh, yes.
In his drinks.
Yes.
So
now
that
I
she could
remember.
like set up a scene.
Set it up. Yes.
But
that's
apparently he just.
Right. But then
like,
he just See, I would have
had
liked
a-
it better if she killed him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I would have liked it better if the ending ended with like Emmeline dying,
Yeah.
trying to like solve this curse or
Yeah. That'd
mystery.
have been all right, but the whole wrapping it up. So
Yeah.
do you know what it
Although
gives me?
I am Team Rev. Love the
Okay, no,
Reverend.
and I was hoping for
Yeah.
that. But
I felt like he deserved happiness. I felt like he
yeah.
like not struggled, but I don't know. He just was like always there, and I felt bad for him. And I
Yeah.
feel like he just needed a hug and someone to love.
Yeah. Yeah,
I got that.
and then it goes to like the sort of standard love story where they don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
and-
Did you watch Fleabag ever?
No.
Ugh, guys. Okay. In Fleabag,
Yeah.
there's like the hot priest,
Okay.
and that's all I pictured when I read about this reverend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you watched what's that show we just watched with Kirsten Bell? Nobody wants this.
Oh, nobody. Did you finish it?
Nobody wants this?
Okay, I didn't finish it.
Yeah, we
Did you
finished
like it? This is a sidebar conversation.
Yeah, it was okay. They did the hot rabbi thing though. That's what made me think.
Yeah,
Of
I mean Seth Cohen, Adam Brody, 100% any day.
it. You just said a bunch of names.
Well,
You
he
said
played
two
Seth
names.
Cohen on the
okay.
OC, but Adam Brody's his real name.
Okay.
Okay, this is a sidebar conversation, but I was watching it and I don't love it. Everybody was really hyping it up on like TikTok, and even people I talked to who like loved it.
Yep.
Somebody was like, "This is Nora Ephron vibes," and I said, "No, it's not."
I don't know what that is.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, anyways, I just didn't. I wanted more. I don't know, and I've been dying to talk to this
How many
with you
episodes
guys.
did you watch of that?
I watched 4 of them. I was like halfway through, and I'm just kind of like, ugh, it needs to. I need more. I need more.
Yeah, so maybe we
It's
should
an
get. Maybe we
interesting
should
story,
like,
but-
not talk about that.
Yeah, we
TV
could do this
show.
off camera.
Yeah,
but for what you're saying was like the hot rabbi, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you were cheering for Pellerin.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that is where. Okay, let's just establish that we both
Yeah.
agreed the ending was turds.
Yeah. And do you know what I was thinking about? Your unpopular book opinion about, well, the ending sucks, so this whole book suck.
Yeah.
And then I kind of was like, was he right all along? And
like-
I said, surely not.
But remember
But
how I
I
said
was thinking about that
you
in bed
knock
last
off
night.
like a full point at least.
A full point. I can't wait to get my rating of this book.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, so here's what it gave me though. The
Yeah.
ending. I feel like I want to give her the benefit. She's a good writer.
Yes.
She's a good writer.
Yes. And she did really like pull me into the story.
So it feels like was she on some kind of time crunch where she was struggling
Yeah,
to
she's like,
come
"Oh,
up
shoot,
with
my
the
book's
ending,
due in 2 weeks."
and the
Yeah.
editors or the publishers are
Yeah.
going, get
And
the
she's
book.
a Canadian, which we love.
Yeah, absolutely. Or why did the editors not say something?
Yeah.
It just feels like this was pushed fast.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like it was rushed.
I agree.
Because that many
I
chapters
agree.
of
Because there is
fa la
so
la
much
la.
like more like in-depth story in the beginning.
yeah.
Like much more, okay, we're hearing about these people and the backgrounds and
Yeah.
their own plots. And then it just felt like it was a different writer at the end almost, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it was
I mean, who
all
am I to judge, but-
rainbows and ponies at the end, and I was just like,
Yeah, I need
then
a
I had
little...
to read about the rainbows and ponies forever. I'm just like,
Yeah,
okay,
for
I
like
get
3
it.
chapters. Yeah.
Everybody lived happily ever
that
after.
all those 3 chapters could have been summed up in 1 chapter,
Totally.
you know?
But it's like she
Yeah.
needed this certain amount of words or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was disappointed because I was like,
too.
I was into it and I loved the
know.
feel and the vibes.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's based off of?
No, what is it based off of?
Well, it's not. It's
A
not
true story?
No. The place is
Faraday
based,
House?
Yeah. Well, the island is
Oh.
based off of Oak Island.
What's Oak Island?
It's an island off of Nova Scotia. There's a
Oh.
TV show on like history or something like that called The Curse of Oak Island.
History.
So-
Does it look like I watch the History Channel?
Yeah. I mean, But so it's like it's
Cool
this
if you do.
island that has all this sort of lore and legend around it, that there's like treasure in it,
interesting.
and they're like excavating it over. Honestly, it's like this show that's been on for 10 seasons and they haven't found
Really?
anything. But yeah,
10 seasons. I think there's probably no treasure there.
no, they keep finding things.
Like what? Gold?
Yeah, Spanish coins. I think they found stuff from like the Templars. All these
Spanish coin.
Yeah,
Is that
no,
worth a lot of money?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't actually watch the show.
Well, you know a lot about this, so I thought you watched.
I just found it interesting because I was like reading. I was like, this gives me like it's an island off of Nova Scotia, off of Halifax. I wonder if this is about that. So I looked at it, and
you're right.
And she, yeah.
Wow.
So it's like
Never in my life would I have made that correlation.
Yeah.
Very cool though.
Yeah. So ending not good.
Yeah.
And
What about the characters?
that's where I was thinking to go. So how did you feel about Emmeline? What do you say?
Emmeline. I say it like Emmeline.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do I. I feel like
So do I. You just said it wrong.
I know, but like I can't figure it out because somewhere in the book she's like it rhymes with Pellerin, but that doesn't. Emmeline and Pellerin.
Emmeline Pellerin. I think that's what it is.
Emmeline Pellerin.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody named Pellerin.
What's the last name?
Yeah, I thought it was Pellerin.
I thought it was Pellerin too, but then in the book she says
Emmeline Pellerin.
Emmeline, like
Maybe it's
our
Emmeline.
names rhyme. Like
Anyways,
Emmeline
I don't know. I was like,
Pellerin.
what?
Emmeline Pellerin.
Yeah, if it's Emmeline.
Yeah.
But Emmeline.
it is.
Emmeline.
Did I say Emmeline or Emmeline? It's Emmeline.
Anyways.
Whatever. Now
Sorry,
I'm
everyone.
confusing myself.
This is like that
What
recent
is
conversation we had.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah.
What did I think about her? In the beginning, I thought she was the most obnoxious.
Okay.
Like, kind of like, girl, like, get it. I just want to shake her.
Okay.
Like, girl, he's not coming for you.
Okay.
You're not going to end up with him.
No.
Like, we need to get out of the land of delusion.
Yeah. So
now
she wasn't obnoxious though.
It was a little bit to me.
Okay.
I was like, do you actually believe he's coming for you? Because he actively did not care about you.
Yeah.
But she was holding on to this hope. So maybe she's just like a hopeless romantic. And she was so infatuated with the idea of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea of like being loved by someone, which that's fair. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But she was being blinded by her infatuation. Ain't that always the story?
I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
So at first I was just kind of like, oh, she needs to like, girl, please. But then as her story went on, I did like her more and more.
I definitely liked her more.
What did you like about her?
What did I like about her? I liked that she was insistent upon finding the truth. And I love how she cared for the wife that was alive.
Yeah, Georgina.
Yeah, thank you, Georgina.
Yeah.
So I liked that a lot.
Yeah, I did like that too.
I mean,
I think she's very caring. She's a very compassionate character.
Other than that, I loved the story about her and the judge. And there was one line in there. And I forget who said it. But somebody said to her, because like in the story, she's hiding these coins all over with the judge, right? That's kind of like their relationship.
Yeah.
And then she sticks it in her mom's, or in a mug, and her mom drinks it and chokes on the coin and dies.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and he said, what a...
I'm so sorry that something so invaluable cost you so much.
I like that too. Yes. That's a good line.
Who was that? Pellerin that said it?
That was, yes, it was. The Rev. We love the Rev. We love the Rev.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. That line stuck out to me as well. Yeah, it did. I was like, oh, dang. Like, that hurts.
That was a good line. It was like, oof.
See what I mean?
Poetic.
Like, she's a very good writer.
I know.
She's a very good writer.
And there was nothing that was shocking. There was no SJM vibes where it's like, what?
No.
I never once until the end was like, what?
Yeah. For the wrong reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a writer, I was like fully engaged.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, from now on, SJM is like
what the bar is
beating from me.
A low bar for you.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you feel about the plot and like plot pace, and what did you feel about that as a writer?
I wanted it to be more ghost story. And that's not as a writer. I just wanted more ghost story. I almost felt like the ghost story was so secondary, it wasn't needed. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, it could have done without, like, it wasn't really there in the first place.
It was more of a whodunit than it was a ghost story.
Yeah, it's giving more Agatha Christie than I don't know.
Like the way
spooky.
the way she wrote the ghost story stuff, like going out and like hearing the piano and those kind of things, and like what was happening in the room, was like intriguing and
descriptive, like that you could picture it in your mind.
And she scared me a little bit, which is what you
got
do.
Spooked.
Yeah, you get spooked a little bit, but then it wasn't really no point to much of it, right? So that was a bit of a bummer for me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I mean, I was intrigued. Mostly, I think I cared mostly about her and Pellerin, though.
Me too.
Like, so like
Shocker.
the whodunit part was like interesting enough, but at some point I'm just like, just kind of tell me. Who it was. Yeah. Because it's one of these crazies here. And okay, in full disclosure, I'm like, I don't want it to be Pellerin.
I know. I was scared for a second there. I'm like, it better not be him because I'll actually be upset. I'll be gutted. If I would have been sad if it was him. And like, come on. Oh.
That was ice.
Chewing some ice. I would have been upset. So I'm glad that wasn't the plot twist.
Yes.
But I could have used another plot twist.
So if we go, who's your favorite character? I think we're both probably it.
The Rev. Yeah.
Pellerin.
Definitely. The plot for me.
Yeah, how was the plot for you, Sarah?
Such good bones. Okay. Like really good bones. And after the 7th chapter, I liked the pace.
Okay.
It was just, like I said in the beginning, an uphill climb at first. But then I liked how it was going. Like, it was going through things. It wasn't too overly descriptive and like, okay, we don't need to spend like 3 chapters on one little thing, you know? You know what I mean? Token. You said it, not me. So I did like it. But again, I agree with you. I wish there was a little bit more of like the haunted elements of like this curse and
I think that would have even been more interesting story. In the end.
Yeah, and when I look at this, this cover, I just think, ooh, like there's something haunting going on here. And then it's like, there wasn't really. There was, but there wasn't. So I agree with you where it just left me wanting more. Mm-hmm. The plot and the book as a whole, I think, just left me wanting more.
And not in the sense of I want a sequel. I just wanted more with the book.
We don't need a sequel.
No. No. Yeah, so nope. Plot was okay.
One and done.
I read it weird though. Like because
Did you listen?
I read a chunk. Yeah. I think I read 100 pages, and then she took the book. And so then I listened to like another bunch. Oh. Okay, but when I listened, I got nothing out of it. I was like, what?
Oh, how was the narrator?
I don't even, like it was...
Boy or girl?
Oh, I think it was a girl. They're always girls now.
Usually.
Yeah. I haven't read one where there's been a man for a long time.
Okay.
Unless it's like a self-help book. Yeah. So I actually listened to a good chunk of it and had to just go back and read it over.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Oh,
so
that kind of sucks.
So I don't really kind of remember the plot pacing for me.
Yeah, because you were all over the map. That's fair.
Yeah, but I think I was invested pretty quick. Like, not that I was. I don't act like so. I'm picking Pellerin as a favorite character, but I actually don't care that much about any of them. Like, I'm just kind of like, okay, like, I've got to pick.
And I didn't feel very connected to any of them either,
right?
Where I feel like I really need that to get fully invested.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel that.
And you felt that
and
with
you don't
Feyre,
always,
right? So
connected?
Yeah.
To her?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, you felt connected to Reesan.
I do feel connected to him.
Okay.
All right. Should we give our rating?
Well,
what are we missing?
No, first, do you have a song? Because I actually have a song I think that would go with it.
I did not.
But you're not going to know, and probably anybody listening is not going to know my song.
Pick
but
good
it's like
relevant songs, Rob.
No, relevant songs are turds. They're trash.
I have a song.
Okay, what's your song?
But go. You said you have.
Okay,
yours.
so my song is "Tremor Christ" from Pearl Jam.
Rob, be for real.
But you need to listen to it because it's like the lines are like, "Winded is the sailor drifting by the shore, wounded is the old man he left home." Like it's just really haunting, sort of.
It has a haunting feel to it.
Oh, totally. I'll play it for you after. And if you're listening to this and going, "What's Tremor Christ?" It's like pretty easy. If you go on Spotify or you go on Apple Music, you type in "Tremor Christ." Guarantee you, it's the only song. So
I also can guarantee you that's the only song with that title.
So go listen to it. And
the thing about Robbie loves Pearl Jam.
Yeah, Sarah, she loves fairies.
Stop.
You're so
funny. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not living in Delulu over here. I do.
She loves a high fae.
I do. Okay, I do. A high fae. That's the key. Not fairies.
Yeah.
The high fae.
They're still fairies, though.
But they're high fae.
Yes.
So they're different.
Obnoxious. That's obnoxious. Okay.
Okay, my song is obviously Taylor Swift, and it's The Lakes.
Sing it.
I can give you the lyrics. It's like, take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. And it sounds a little like, not spooky, but there's a story to it. So I feel like it just fits the vibe.
Tremor Cry sounds spooky.
Okay, I'll give you that. The spooky matches that.
I love the spooky.
You love the spooks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, let's go to the rating.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's do the rating.
Oh, this is tough.
Is it?
Yeah, because I have to lower it from what I was going to do even. Because
yeah,
I think I have to give it a 3.
Cool.
Yeah. What are you giving it?
I'm giving it a 2.97.
Yeah, well, I give it a 2.96 and 3/4 then.
That's my rating. 2.97.
You had to go under 3.
Yeah.
You had to be like...
I had to go under 3, but I didn't want to go too much under 3 because giving it a full 2-star, that's kind of like, so bad. But I don't think it was so bad. And 3 is like, okay, not like the greatest, but not the worst ever. So it's like just a notch down from that.
Yeah, so I'm not angry I read it.
Yeah.
Would
I read it again?
I'll just leave
No.
it. Well, I mean, I don't reread
Would I recommend
books.
it to somebody? Probably not.
No.
Which makes my rating go down to a 2.97.
So I just need to ask about that 2. I feel like we had a conversation where I did some obscure number like that before, and you were like, "What are you doing, you idiot?
Yeah.
You can't do that."
That's true.
This happened,
I
right?
just like to mock you.
That's what that whole thing was? That was mocking me?
Kind of. Well, at the time, what book was that for? Midnight Library?
Maybe. I don't know.
At the time,
and we could have actually like recorded over that one too. I don't.
Yeah, maybe we did a few recordings of these.
Yeah.
You know, it's my prerogative, and so I'm giving it 2.97.
No, it's good. I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy. You know, that's all I wanted to do.
It's here. It's in the room with us.
But I understand. See, I actually understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
yes,
yeah. So like
because
3
2 is too harsh, but 3 is a little bit too generous.
Exactly. So you're almost 3.
But not quite.
But you're not.
But I'm not because
Okay, I'm gonna stick
look
to
what you
3
did.
Because
there's consequences for your actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
I really did
3.
like the writer.
I did
I
too.
really
so like, I
did.
would be hopeful of
Was this
other
her
books.
first
No,
novel?
she actually has some other award-winning book called like
That's what I thought.
I don't know.
I might read another one of hers and see how that fares.
Yeah. One of them's award-winning. I mean, but what does that mean? Like,
yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Because when I try to read award-winning books, maybe I'm just dumb, and like that's like I'm okay.
Ouch.
I'm okay with that.
No, you
Not
don't say
not
things like
I'm
that,
like
Sarah.
like I'm a dumb, but maybe I just don't. I'm not that book smart. I always say this. I'm street smart, not book smart. I always say this. Ask my family.
Okay.
I always say this. So maybe I'm just not getting. I'm not picking up what they're putting down in some of these award-winning ones.
Give me one that you're like, this is award-winning and I don't like it.
Okay. What's it called? A Little Life. Is like award-winning. It's this thick. First of all,
that's the problem.
not needed. Second of all, the most depressing book I've read in my entire existence.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just depression after depression after depression after depression.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't know if there was a long time where Academy Award winning films and even the nominated films were so boring. Like,
Because
have
it's
you
the
watched
drama.
The English Patient?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch The King's Speech either.
Oh, I didn't watch that either. I think
Shannon said it was good.
But there was
I
a
heard it
time
was good,
there was a
but-
time where the movies were just like, this is
Snooze.
so boring.
Snoozerama. Yeah.
It's like, is that like a prerequisite?
Yeah.
for
Give me more
awards?
Greta. Yeah.
Anyways,
It's because the Oscars, they give them to like a very dramatic role and a dramatic acting.
well, they've been better lately though, but that could maybe just because I'm
Yeah.
older. I don't know.
Maybe.
So,
But I do like
part
a
of me
drama,
thinks
so-
that we picked wrong in doing a book podcast because we always default to movies and TV.
Yeah. It's because it's an art form. They're interconnected.
They are. It's
That's
story.
it.
It's story.
That's what it is. That is what it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't recommend
Wait,
this
Shannon,
book.
Shannon's behind
Oh,
the camera.
yeah, okay.
But Shannon, what's your rating? We'll tell them what you said. 3. She said 3. 3 out of 5
Yeah,
stars. Yeah, that's fair.
We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Same thing, ending.
Yeah, she
Disappointed
agreed with us.
Did you get angry?
Okay,
Did you curse?
You can just like recap what I'm saying, but they should have just ended it right after the reveal. Basically, they didn't need all the extra crap.
So you're with me. That
Yeah,
whole
Shannon
fluff.
says they should have ended it right after the reveal. Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
I
like you
agree.
said, Emmeline should have died.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that. But then the Rev, the Rev would have suffered, and I don't want to see him
Oh,
suffer.
didn't
Sweet
want-
boy. I don't want him to
Well,
suffer.
he could have like killed himself, like a la Romeo and Juliet,
Oh.
and then they could go be
in the afterlife together.
Yeah. Well, it's a tragedy.
Do you know what? I'm into it. I am okay,
Shakespeare.
but I'm into it.
That's
Shannon's not into it.
Shakespeare's vibe. Shannon doesn't like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
Okay, excellent.
That's
That's
it.
our rating. That's it. Our first book club pick.
Absolutely.
Under our belt. I love
Wow.
that for us.
Do
Look
we
at
have
us.
our next one picked yet?
Nope.
Okay, but we will announce it in the first week.
Yeah.
So the next episode.
Yeah.
We will announce what our next book
yes, we
club
will.
pick will be.
We
You
will.
do need to go on Fable and have discussion with
Yep.
us to be a part
Follow
of
us
it.
at Booklore Reader Society on the Fable
Totally.
app. That's
Yep.
it. Okay, beautiful. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We hope you had an amazing time with us. Remember to catch us on all of the socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Fable. And hey, catch us next week for a brand new episode.